Picking a business name, something that sounds so easy, can prove to be very difficult. It's a bit of a paradox, this. So sometimes I would say picking a business name, if you can, it does the marketing for you. It tells exactly what the product does or the service. So ultimately, a paradox is, then again, it doesn't actually matter. There have been successful businesses in the past that have a name that means nothing to do with the business or the service that it offers. So there's a tendency to spend way too much time on thinking up a clever, witty business name rather than actually working out if you can solve a problem or if there's actually a business need that is available. So if there's actually a business need at all. So it's a paradox that having a great name can do the marketing for you. And also on the flip side, you can spend way too long figuring out a cool, witty, fun name. By the time you've picked a name, the problem's already been solved. So let's look at a few business names that I think are quite good or that are quite witty, that tell essentially tell you all about the product in a very short space of time. So Netflix, it's quite a clever name. So net as in the internet, and flix as in the name of, used to be called kind of TV was also the flicks, or cinema used to be it used to be called flicks. So Netflix, it tells you, and it also rhymes as well, and it's easy to say. Also, it sounds nice. So Netflix is a really clever name. As well as YouTube, it tells you exactly what it does. It's for you. You post your videos, and tube as in it's a TV used to have a tube at the back of it, and that's how the TV used to work. So YouTube, it's quite a clever name. TikTok is another one. So TikTok, it sounds nice. It's got that kind of flow to it. It's got that alliteration to the two T's, TikTok. And essentially, the unique selling point of TikTok is that it's very short, snappy videos. So they give you 30 seconds or a minute to produce your videos, whereas YouTube tends to be much more long content. TikTok is short, snappy content, and TikTok it does what it says. So it's all about time. So it's saving you time because it gives you short, snappy content. So these are good names. There are other names that successful businesses that doesn't really tell you what they do. So an example of this is Amazon. So what does Amazon do? So as soon as you think of Amazon, you think of the Amazon River, but it's actually the name is Amazon is a it's a distribution company. Essentially, it's going to be give you go online to buy things on Amazon. But yeah, the name doesn't really tell you what it actually does. So I would say that's a bad name, but Amazon's hugely successful, so it doesn't necessarily need to have a good name. FedEx is another one. What does FedEx do? Like, it delivers parcels. The name doesn't really tell you anything about the product. So coming up with a short, snappy name is really, really important. It's almost does your marketing for you. So my business name is Money Tips. So that's what it does. So we give money tips. It's not advice. We don't give specific advice. We give tips because there's higher level of legislation with money, so we don't give specific advice. We just give tips. It also stands for tax, investment, property, pension, savings. So it's also a play on words as well. So we used when I come up with money tips, but I spent way too long thinking up a witty, clever name rather than actually going out and solving the problem. So as we said at the start, it's a paradox of, do you have a clever name or do you go out and solve the problem? I would say you need to test the market before you start coming up with a name. The name will almost evolve over time. It doesn't need to be a clever name. As long as it's more important that you solve a business need rather than a clever name. A clever name is not going to win you customers, but it can help your marketing. It can save a lot of time if you can encapsulate what the problem you're solving in a name. So yeah, just to summarize, there's a number of good names. I would say Netflix, YouTube, Coca-Cola is another name. It kind of has that alliteration. It almost rhymes. It kind of makes it easy to say, and it it explains what it does. It's the cola, and it used to have when it first originated, it did have Coca in it, so it kind of explains what it is. Microsoft is another good name, I would say. So Microsoft, it's kind of microprocessing and software. So some of the good names are, they come up with something completely different that is, it's not actually a word. Microsoft was never a word. They've kind of taken two words and kind of combined the two together. So that's what you can do to come up with a name. It's also quite frustrating if you come up with a really clever, witty name and it's maybe already taken, or the trademark's gone, or the website the URL is too expensive for what you're looking to do. So there are downsides as well. So you might spend a lot of time coming up with a clever, witty name, and then that's already taken. The original name of my company was Tips. I've still got the trademark, but the URL was taken, so I couldn't afford. It was crazy price that they wanted for the URL, so I added on Money Tips, and it's almost better because it explains it more about tips. Is just the tips could have been anything, but Money Tips explains essentially what we do in a very short space of time. So yeah, what name are you thinking of? Start writing down names, start jotting names down, and kind of what problem are you solving? Or maybe take two separate words and put them together, like Microsoft. Can you create alliteration? Can you create a rhyme sound, or is it pleasing to the ear? Is it going to get people talking about it? So that's the next section. That's this section. So come up with your business name. And as I said, it's a paradox. Sometimes it's good to have a name because it encapsulates everything it almost does the marketing for you. But there are other companies that are successful that don't have a clever name.